one of the dilemmas I see for a lot of B2B companies, and obviously this is your domain, is sort of what should they do on social, right? Should they be on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat? Do I need to be on TikTok, right? Do I need to be in all of these and sort of dip my feet in the water? Or do I just go on one and just do a really good job on one? And that seems to be a big dilemma for companies about which way do I go? How do you sort of consult and advise companies who ask that question?
So it's two questions I'll start with is what are your resources and where is your audience? Right. So with social, social can open a lot of doors for you, but if you don't have the right resources, it just becomes harder to manage, harder to see results, harder to feel good about what you're doing on it. So if you know that you have limited resources and you know that your audience is most active on Twitter, spend your time there. Maybe claim profiles and occasionally have a regular cadence for occasionally posting on other places, but put your time and efforts to where your audience is. And then the next phase of that is if you can get a good cadence of that going and maybe you build resources over time is look to where your audience will be. As I mentioned earlier, or, one of the things that I always think about is who is my next audience, right? Because people grow up in their careers. So the people who are decision makers now are maybe not big Instagram users, but the people who are in their 20s and 30s who have been will eventually be a decision maker, and it's a platform they're used to using and seeing. So you can't ignore it forever, but think about when you need to start kind of getting in front of them. That's why it's more important to have a regular cadence, even if it's only occasional. Kind of be in front of those others. But it's a much better strategic approach to find where your audience is and put your time and effort there rather than trying to separate your time across every single platform, because it's just going to fall a little bit flat for you. It's harder to see results if it's not overwhelmingly good. And that's usually what happens. When you have limited resources, you do the best you can, but it's not great. It's just the best that you can possibly do. And that can hurt, which is a weird thing to think about, but it can hurt if it's not great for social. Because there's so much that's happening that your stuff has to stand out. When I say great, I don't mean the highest quality videos or the highest graphics. It's just great content that is really well tailored for your audience. That's the great that you're looking for. All of the other details of how you execute only matters to what your audience wants from you.
Yeah.
So if they just want cat GIFs all day, give them cat GIFs if that can get them to engage with you and do it. It doesn't have to be highly produced content. It just has to be really well tailored for your audience.